I've used this a couple of days now as a dash cam. I've got it hanging via a jumbo spring clamp. Hopefully I'll show you a picture of that in a moment. And I think it's pretty good. It's small. It does get hot with the heat sinks, but apparently that's not going to be a problem. I've got a cable that's long enough to reach down into the USB charger. So far so good. I've got over the teething pains. I've worked out why I can't update the firmware at the moment. So I've got a 32 gig class 4 card on the way. The one I'm using at the moment is a 64 gig class 10, which records fine, no problems at all with that. I can update the system with the sysconfig file. With the Windows laptop it's a lot better. The Mac is fine too for the sysconfig, but the 32 gig card will allow me to update the firmware, and then we'll see whether we get better footage. But I thought I'd just let you know what I thought so far. Small, dinky little camera, working very well. So here's some sample footage. This was the other day, pretty clear day in the Lake District. You can see the footage isn't perfect, but I think it's pretty good, nice and sharp. Ignore the timestamp at the top, that's before I worked out how to get the sysconfig loaded into the Mobius properly, as well as the steps that you have to take to get the sysconfig file to dump into the Mobius. Once you've configured it and saved it back to the Mobius and disconnected, you have to do the same steps again. It's simple really, but that's how the footage you'll see after this clip doesn't have the timestamp. It's worth noting that it's fairly steady as well. Perhaps not professionally so, but well enough for this purpose. Show you a few more minutes of footage. With this piece now, this will run just for a few more seconds, then you'll see another scene which is not quite such ideal weather conditions. I'm hoping this is of use to you. This is all in 1080p, 30 frames per second. I tend to just go for the top quality. It doesn't have 60 frames per second at 1080p, so that's what I'm using. So this piece just to show you what happens when you go through a tunnel. You might get the dash pop up. Now you can hear the sound on a rainy day. Not very scientific, I appreciate. It's obviously prone to shake. We're back outside again. You can hear the sound, see what happens as we panic. I think some of the footage is quite dark when you get into these sort of situations. It wasn't quite as dark as it's appearing. I guess if you know what you're doing in post-processing, you could adjust that. If I unscrew the thing, I can show you what I've got it hanging off. Why not? So I love this jumbo spring clamp because of this. Well, I can attach it anywhere that it allows, but this is fantastic. I've used this with other cameras as well, and with things that I use for my phone. So this is what I'm using at the moment. Anyway, hope that's been useful. Take it easy. Peace.